Guys, welcome back. It's been a while. Haven't made any videos lately. It's been quite some time actually. Today I'd like to share a project with you that I've been working on lately. It's not going to be related to wood gas stoves like you see on my channel normally. Today we're going to be talking about a wintertime project that I've been working on, and that's an underwater fish cam and fish sonar for ice fishing. It's purpose built for ice fishing. You could use it for a boat, but I use this and I've designed it for ice fishing. It's one of the things I really like to do in the winter time. And well, let's have a look. So I used this Husky lunch bag, which is the perfect form factor for this project. It even looks like what you see out there in the market today, like the Marcum products and the Vexilar, and same color, same kind of shape and size, and it's perfect for everything that I need to pack in here. So let's talk about what's inside and what's gone into making this project. First off, let's open it up. So I got my tablet here. I'll show you what that's all about. I got my 7-inch LCD monitor. It just fits perfectly in there like that. And then I got a whole big mess of wires. I got 150 feet of cable in here. And I got this little guy, which is the heart of the project itself, okay? This is the underwater fish cam. It's waterproof. I've tested it last season, a little over 100 feet deep, and it worked perfectly. No leaks whatsoever. Nice, crisp resolution. This year I changed it up a bit. I've added these two lights, which didn't have last year, and at 150 or 120 feet or whatever that I was fishing at last year, it was a little hard to see when you have snow on the ice. And that far deep, it gets pretty dark. So these lights hopefully will change up the experience this year and see things a little bit clearer. Let's look at how it works. So in the back, I got a little pouch here, which is perfect for storing batteries. Again, like, could you make it any better? This bag is like purpose built for this thing. And I was deciding between two types of batteries. I have a bunch of these USB battery banks lying around. They're 20,000 milliamp hours, and I got this one. It's actually purpose built for a similar kind of Chinese knockoff fish cam. I bought this real cheap on eBay. It's using genuine cells. They're 18650s, wired up for 12 volts and at 4.5 amp hours. So that should technically, at 5 watts, get about 5 watts consumption on this guy without the light. Get me about 8 hours of use, but this is not what I'm going to use. I'm going to actually build something similar to this, and I'll talk about that in another video. But let's wire it up and show you how this guy works. That's all it takes. Plug it in. Put that in the pouch. And there you can see the camera's working. All right. So what's the tablet for? I'll show you what the tablet's for. Oh, the battery's low. And we're going into the Fish Hunter Pro app. So this is where this guy comes in, the Fish Hunter Pro. It's a cordless, portable USB fish sonar. It's 3D, so it's got multiple sonar cones. And that's what that looks like right there. Okay. So this app actually has a demo mode. I'll put it in demo mode right now. So we'll select my Fish Hunter Pro, and we'll demo the sonar, and we'll select the different types of ice fishing, sorry, the different types of fishing. I don't know if you can see that, but it says 3D fishing, 3D structure maps, directional casting, and ice fishing. So we'll select ice fishing. And if you're familiar with ice fishing, and if you've seen a ice fishing sonar in the past, you'll notice that this looks exactly like what you expect to find in higher end models like the Vexilar or the Marcum devices. And so on the right hand side here, you have raw sonar data. That line that you see going up and down, that's them simulating dropping a line into the water. And on the left hand side, you see this is the water column, that's the bottom, that's the surface, and here in the middle, that's your jig. And anything that shows up in between would be a fish. Okay, so you have the cam, you have the sonar, and you effectively have what replicates what the more expensive models do. And I happen to have a bucket of water here with a little rubber ducky in there. Let's go pay him a visit. Say hello to Tommy the rubber ducky. Oh, there's actually something swimming around in the corner there. So let's demonstrate the lighting. So there's the lighting, and I don't know if you noticed that, but it has the camera itself has a very high dynamic range, which makes it perfect for this application. The camera that I used for this was actually a rear view backup camera for a car. And it has an incredible dynamic range, so that it's really good in very low light conditions, and it's very good at adjusting to very bright light conditions. So I have a pretty bright light in there shined directly at an object that's like less than a foot in front of it, and it's not washed out. You can see it perfectly. So that means underwater you're going to have great picture, great resolution, which just worked out perfectly. So there's the cam. There's our rubber ducky. You see it is in a bucket of water. So let's talk about, oh, actually, before I forget, we got the Marcum, what's it called? I think it's called the Panner. And I paid a little bit of money for this. It was about, I don't know, I'd say like 45 bucks. It's not worth 45 bucks. I think it's really overpriced for what it is. I could have built my own, but I wanted something clean and nice to look at. And so why reinvent the wheel? 45 bucks isn't that much. So I just bit the bullet and bought this guy. So this would go over your hole, and you attach your line on the cable to this thing. I'll just use this cable. Secure it like that. And you got the remote here. You see when I turn it either direction, you see it's actually, it's going to turn the line. So you can have this several feet away, depending how far away you drilled your hole for your camera. And from within, the comfort of your ice hut, you can pan the camera back and forth, which is pretty neat if you ask me. So that's nice. So yeah, there's the completed product, and for, I don't know what I paid for everything that's in this, but I'm gonna estimate somewhere a little over, I don't know, maybe 250, 300 bucks total that I have into this project. And the bulk of it really was this fish hunter. I think I paid about 200 bucks for this. And for everything else, like building the camera, the parts I used to build the camera, which was actually a light housing, everything included with the bag was about 100 bucks. So all in all, a little over $300 Canadian that I put into this. And if you ask me, it does pretty much the same thing that those $1,000 Marcums or Vexillar products do. I'm not going to say that it's exactly the same thing, but for my purposes, I mean, having a sonar and having an underwater fish cam and having underwater lighting, it checks off all those boxes. And for me, $300 is a lot better than, $1,000, $1,500 just to go ice fishing and, have some toys to play with while you're there. So that's that. So next, let's talk about what I actually used to build this. So there's the light, incredibly bright. We'll turn those off so that we don't blind you. So lights off. So what is this? Like, what the hell is this housing? Where did I get that from? This is actually a, well, I'll pause the video and I'll show you exactly what it is. So there you go. You see, I don't know if you could read that, but it's a high-powered headlamp. It's a really cheap Chinese-made headlamp for hiking or camping or whatever, and shipped to my door from China. This was only about like $12, I think, maximum $15 Canadian. And there it is. It's a headlamp, the strap for your head. Takes two 18650 batteries in the back there, and you got 3 lights, and you can see where, obviously I've taken it apart and I've used the centerpiece. I pulled all the electronics out completely, the drivers as well, and I used the centerpiece for the housing for the camera. And these 2 side lights are actually perfectly situated for my application. The only thing that I did change was the, what do you call it, the lenses for these lights, because these produce more of a focused kind of cone, and it looks like a lightsaber underwater. And that's not what you want if you're, using an underwater camera, because basically you're looking like down the tube of a really high-powered light. And it's really hard to see anything. So what I changed it out for was some convex lenses that you see here. And that really gives you a perfectly diffused, bright LED dispersion pattern, which for this application was perfect. Filled the entire thing with marine epoxy. This stuff dries hard like ABS plastic, or there's no way that water is going to get in here. Okay, so I can actually, there's no way that I can open this up now, but even if I were to open it up, the entire electronics package is encased in epoxy. So there is no way whatsoever that this thing is going to leak and do any kind of damage at all to the electronics. The other thing I've done, the LEDs, because I couldn't really salvage the electronics that were used in this light housing, and it wasn't really the driver board and everything for the electronics is actually in the back here, so there's nothing really built into this, and I need to this project runs off of 12 volts, so I need to bring down the 12 volts to something suitable for a 3-volt LED. Even if I wire those 2 LEDs in series, you're still going to have 6 volts, so that's not going to work. So I had to use some drivers, and what I used was if you go to a website called LED Supply, you'll find a DC to DC buck converter, a step-down converter, and it's called a buck toot. And it's a 350 milliamp constant current driver, and I got 2 of these in each of these housings here. So in total, I got about 5 watts to run the camera, the monitor together. That's 5 watts just with the camera, no lighting. and an additional 5 watts for the lighting if the lighting is on. So in total, the most that this is going to draw is about 10 watts. It's around like 9.5 watts. And, that's going to run quite a while, even with that really small 18650 battery that I have there. Just with the camera, it's going to run about 8 hours. It's going to run about half of that if I have the light on. But to power this whole thing, you do have the option of the 18650 battery pack, which is really nice. It's kind of purpose built for that. And then you have these guys, the USB power banks, which almost everybody has lying around. And with a step up converter that cost me like $1 or $2 shipped from China to my door in Canada, you can power this project with it. So let's power it up. So there's your lights. There's a camera. Everything's working just fine. Tablet is not plugged in, it's not charging, but it's got its own battery. So there you have it. Really nice, clean looking project. Works really well. I'll insert some video from last year so you can see the clarity of and the quality of what you're looking at here. But that's it. My lunch bag, underwater fish cam, and sonar, which would easily cost me over $1,000 Canadian, easily, to do what I'm doing here with the Marcum that my uncle and my cousin have. And I accomplished the same thing with this, built for about $100, a little over $100, just for the camera setup, and then another $200 or $150 Canadian for this sonar. So let's just say about $300, a little over $300 for this entire project. I'm quite happy with that. The results are incredible. It works really well, and yeah, there you have it. And one of the other nice features that I like about this is the application that it comes with. So it's actually pretty versatile, and there's a lot of things that you can do with this. It has a built-in maps function, so that you can, obviously this has a GPS built into it, and I can tether this. If you have a data plan, you can, you can get Google Maps, and I can, so you see here, this is kind of like a crowdsourcing thing where everybody who signs up with this app, they can mark their, their fishing locations and share it with the world, which obviously I would not do. But you can do that. So say you're fishing and you find a great fishing hole. With this very unit, you can drop a pin and mark off your hole. So next year, or then next week when you come fishing, you can fish in exactly the same spot, which is great to have built into the unit. The sonar unit itself is actually really nice because you have several different, I guess, functionalities, ways that you can use this. So I've shown you the ice fishing mode, which I'll show you again and kind of go into a little bit more detail there. So again, you have the raw data on the right hand side, but one nice thing is that if you are ice fishing, and I like to ice fish for whitefish, and whitefish like to hang out near the bottom. So this represents the entire water column. Well, I don't want to look at the entire water column, I want to look at the bottom. So you can just zoom right into the portion that you're looking at, and you have a much finer level of detail, right? So there's the ground. And now you're zoomed in. So you have a couple of feet that you're looking at there. And you still have the overall water column visible on the left-hand side. So you see it's in 36 feet of water. You see the temperature. I'm not sure if you can see it on camera, but it's showing 34 degrees Fahrenheit. In Canada, I use Celsius, but haven't configured this yet. You have a drop down here, if I can get that to go. You can enable sound so that whenever it sees a fish, it'll give you that kind of sonar pinging sound, right? Which is nice because if you're not paying attention, you draw your attention to the screen and, you know, there might be a fish there. So that's really nice. The other thing too is you do have finer, more granule, if I can open this stupid thing, hello? Granule controls of the actual sonar itself. So you can set the range. Right now it's set to 66 feet. I find that it is auto ranging. So when you throw it in the water, I'm not sure if that's a function that's built into it or I've just been lucky, but it kind of just knows the depth of the water column that I'm fishing in. But you can specify it here. The range from up to 33 feet, up to 66 feet, up to 99 feet, and up to 133 feet. So for a small, tiny, self-contained unit like this that operates off of a battery, that's pretty amazing. It covers up to 133 feet. And I did actually fish around 120 feet last year, and it was working really well. So that's not just a marketing claim. I can attest to the fact that it actually works at that depth. So let's talk a little bit more about the sonar, because that really is one of the key features of this system as a whole, apart from the camera. And one of the reasons why I chose the Fish Hunter 3D is because it has a couple features that I really like. Number one, it has more than one cone, and so that's what gives you the 3D. That's why it's called the Fish Hunter 3D. And if you can see, each of the cones is slightly offset, so it's sending the sonar signal off into different directions, and that'll give you, I guess, contour mapping of the floor. Although you have a camera to see directly what's in front of you, you have the contour mapping that you can see what's all around you. And that's a really nice feature to have in a sonar unit, especially one as inexpensive as this. The other feature that I really like is the fact that this is running off of Wi-Fi. So when I introduced this, sorry, I said this is a USB device. It's not USB in the sense that you plug the USB into the device. It's charged via USB and it has an internal battery, but it is completely wireless, okay? This cord here is basically just so that you don't forget it on the ice or you don't lose it if you were to cast it out into the water. But it's completely cordless. It's self-contained, it's waterproof, and it operates on Wi-Fi. And so the reason why that's a really nice feature is because Wi-Fi gives you a much faster data transfer rate than Bluetooth. And there are a number of devices like this on the market today, and most of them operate off of Bluetooth. And one of the main drawbacks of Bluetooth is the slow transfer rates. So if you're actually looking at the device in real time, you'll notice that it has kind of laggy refresh time. And with the Wi-Fi unit, you get much faster, more real-time refresh time. So that's a really nice feature to have in a unit like this. Well, what do we have here? We have a camera that is good to 150 feet because that's how much cable we have here. I didn't show you, but this is round cable, so it doesn't bind up. It's just security camera cable. So 150 feet of cable, 150 foot depth we can do. We have its own self-contained 7-inch display, which is really nice. We have the sonar with its own completely separate 7-inch display with its own built-in battery. We have the panner from Marcum, which we could use to remotely control the camera, the direction of the camera, tilt, pan it back and forth, which is really nice. And then you have the batteries, so flexibility of battery options. This guy, little battery here, will get you 8 hours runtime without the light. Half of that with the light, just double it up for more. Or this USB battery bank, which will give you about 1.5 times that. And I have 2 of them, which very easily fit in the back of that. Just throw it in there, and you got like a couple days of fishing. No need to worry about charging up your battery, and you can charge your tablet, your phone at the same time on the ice, which is really cool. I hope you guys like this project. Give it a thumbs up if you do. Like and subscribe. and hope to see you guys soon. We'll be doing a follow-up video, and I'll be building a custom battery bank for this particular project based off of 18650s. See you guys soon. Catch you later. There we go. This one's nicer. Press stop on that one. Nice. That one sounds nicer, right?
I loosened the drag.
I think you moved the camera.